Hey, Washington Commanders fans. Get ready because what I'm about to tell you now is the hottest and most crucial news you'll hear about the future of our team this nightmarish season. The first big move of our offseason is suddenly becoming crystal clear, and it involves a player who has been a true wall for our offense. Stay until the end because I'm going to reveal who this silent hero is, what General Manager Adam Peters needs to do to ensure his stay, and why this decision might be the foundation for our rebuild. And, of course, don't forget to hit that like button. It's just a click, it's quick, and it's all I ask. Adam Peters faces a 2026 offseason that could define his tenure as general manager. The Washington Commanders soared to meteoric heights in his first year at the helm, and we, as fans, were filled with hope. This time, however, the situation has plummeted at the same speed, meaning there's a lot of hard work ahead to get us out of this hole. We expected much more, but reality is harsh and calls for brave decisions for the future of the team. Tough decisions are ahead, and Peters needs to be surgical. The Commanders have plenty of salary cap space, which is good news, but few players under contract, meaning we'll need to rebuild much of the roster. Additionally, we only have 6 draft picks after Peters chose not to make any trades at the 2025 trade deadline, limiting our options. Not all complications will be successfully resolved. There are many gaps to fill, and Peters needs to rejuvenate the whole team. If that means upsetting some established veterans for the sake of a more sustainable future, it's a small price to pay, and we understand that it's time to think about tomorrow, even if it hurts. It will be fascinating to see how Peters handles this situation, with so many pieces to fit together and so many important decisions to be made. But the first big move of the Commanders this offseason is becoming increasingly clear, and it involves a player who has been a safe haven amidst the storm. The Commanders' aggressive strategy last offseason backfired in many ways. Peters repeated the formula with the same players who achieved so much in 2024, betting on veterans who are already past their prime, and the massive signing of defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw is proving to be exactly what fans feared, with an underwhelming performance. However, there was one big move that, at the moment, can be seen as nothing less than a home run, a true light at the end of the tunnel. Peters' decision to sacrifice considerable draft pick compensation to the Houston Texans in exchange for Laremy Tunsil was an exceptional deal, a true steal for our team. The Commanders have problems, many of them, as we well know, but the left tackle, a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, has been simply extraordinary, practically from start to finish this season, the only one playing at the level we expect. Tunsil is an impenetrable wall on the blind side of the quarterback, a true fortress that skillfully protects our passer. In 564 snaps this season, the former Ole Miss offensive lineman has allowed just 1 sack, 7 penalties, and 12 total pressures, numbers that are simply spectacular for a player at his position. His pass protection grade of 87.3, according to Pro Football Focus, ranks him 4th among qualified offensive tackles, showcasing his elite status. His run blocking is underrated, and his ability to help rookie Josh Connerly Jr. overcome early struggles only enhances his influence and leadership on the field. Just imagine what he would do with a fully functional offense. It's true that the Commanders have been without Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, or a consistent ground attack for most of the season, which has made Tunsil's job and that of the rest of the offensive line much more difficult. But this only makes Tunsil's performances even more impressive, showcasing his resilience and ability to maintain a high level of play even in a chaotic environment. That's also why one of Peters' first moves this offseason was to offer our left tackle a new contract extension early. And as a fan, I say, it's the least we can do for a player of this caliber. The 2016 first-round pick still has 1 year left on his contract, with a $24.95 million cap hit, which is quite a significant amount. He may be 31 years old, but offensive linemen tend to play healthy and well into their early 30s, which means he still has many years of high-level play ahead. Extending his contract for another 2 or 3 years is something to seriously consider, and it would also give Peters more money to invest in other positions in free agency, as we need reinforcements in various areas. That's pure intelligence. It secures the best and also helps with the salary cap. In a season with very few reasons to celebrate, Tunsil has stood out as a constant, a beacon of light in the darkness. He's a player we cannot afford to lose, no way. And the Commanders need to avoid unnecessary complications by offering him a generous reward as soon as possible, to ensure his retention and show that we value his efforts. Considering that they restructured his contract this season, this seems quite likely, which makes me a little more at ease about his future with the team. This move to extend Laremy Tunsil's contract is not just about one player. It's about establishing a solid foundation for the future of our team. It's about ensuring that our quarterback, whether it's Jaden Daniels or someone else, has the necessary protection to develop and thrive. It's about showing that Adam Peters is learning from mistakes and is willing to invest in the right players to build a winning team. It's a crucial step in the right direction, and we need more decisions like this to get out of this hole. As a fan, I'm very excited about the possibility of having Laremy Tunsil on our offensive line for many years to come. He is a generational talent, a leader on the field, and a model of professionalism. We need more players with his mindset and ability to rebuild the Commanders and take us back to the playoffs. Adam Peters has the chance to make a master move that could completely change the face of our team and give us a reason to believe again. Now, let me tell you, it's news that could provide some relief amid so much frustration, and it involves a player who we, true fans, have known deserved more chances for a long time. Our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, has just confirmed what many of us have been calling for: recognition for a talent that could change the face of our ground game. Stay tuned, because I'll reveal who this player is, what Kingsbury said about him, and why this could be the turnaround our offense desperately needs. The Washington Commanders' offense was one of the least of our problems during the rout suffered against the Detroit Lions, and that's a fact. They didn't stand a chance of keeping the game balanced, largely due to the incompetence of the defense, which has been a true sieve. But some positives are emerging amidst the almost constant atmosphere of pessimism that surrounds us. And one of those positives involves our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, who is already being heavily rumored for head coaching positions with other teams, showing that he has value even with our team in crisis. Kingsbury is trying to make the most out of what he has, and we recognize his effort. The team is far from complete, with many injuries and a lack of depth at several positions, but the play caller is doing his best to get the most out of every player who has taken on extra responsibilities. And there was an interesting dynamic that went relatively unnoticed in Week 10, but that could indicate significant changes in our ground game, something we fans have been waiting for a long time. The Commanders started Chris Rodriguez Jr. as the starting running back instead of Jackery Kroski-Merritt, and this was a decision many of us applauded. Unfortunately, he had only 6 carries during the game as he suffered a shoulder injury early on. With the game already decided and the impending loss, Washington opted for caution, which is understandable. But we know Rodriguez has potential, and this chance as a starter, even though brief, was already a sign that the coaching staff is keeping an eye on him. Cliff Kingsbury is trying to figure out what Commanders fans have known for a while about Chris Rodriguez Jr., and that's what excites me the most. Kroski-Merritt tried to compensate for Daniel's absence, but once again, he proved to be inefficient, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry. The ground game simply doesn't work without Jaden Daniels at the helm of the offense, which, with his running threat, opens up space for the RBs. But that didn't stop Kingsbury from praising Rodriguez, especially before this weekend's international matchup against the Miami Dolphins. Kingsbury highlighted Rodriguez's professionalism, and that's something we greatly value in a player. He praised his ability to step in at any moment and make a difference, earning him immense respect among his teammates. That's why Commanders fans have been clamoring for the player, selected in the 6th round of the 2023 draft, to have more playing opportunities, so it's not exactly surprising news for them. We've already seen his potential in the few snaps he's had. Rodriguez has only had 45 carries this season, which is an extremely low number for a running back who has shown so much potential. That's not enough to generate a sustainable rhythm, and for him to showcase all his talent. So Kingsbury's comments may indicate that he will have more opportunities as the primary running back moving forward, which would be excellent news for our offense. Kroski-Merritt won't become irrelevant, but his meteoric rise has drastically decreased, so taking some of his responsibilities away might be the best for his development at this moment. This is Rodriguez's 3rd season in the league, and it has been a true roller coaster for him, with few opportunities and plenty of injuries in the roster. But he is improving with every chance he gets, showing more confidence and explosiveness. And, since he is a restricted free agent, it will be relatively simple for the Commanders to keep him on the roster for the coming seasons, which is good news for our future. Giving him a longer stretch of games to see if his flashes of talent can develop into something more would be wise, as he has never had a complete season with the team so far. This is not a critique of Kroski-Merritt, who is also a talented player with potential. But the Commanders need to try something different. They need a spark, and few would disagree that Rodriguez earned his place on the team and more opportunities. Kingsbury believes in this, and the rest of the locker room does too, which is a very positive sign. However, what happens next depends on Rodriguez, how he will seize this chance, and whether he can stay healthy to show his full value. As a fan, I am very excited about the possibility of seeing Chris Rodriguez Jr. getting more opportunities in our offense. He is a player with grit, strength, and the ability to break tackles, something we desperately need in our ground game. If he can establish himself as our primary running back, it could ease the pressure on Jaden Daniels when he returns and provide more balance to our offense. It is a small light at the end of the tunnel, but it is a light we need to embrace with all our strength. Now I want to know your honest and unfiltered opinion about this possible rise of Chris Rodriguez Jr. Do you think he has the potential to become the Commanders' primary running back and change the face of our ground game? Or do you believe he is just a temporary solution to the injury crisis? And more importantly, what impact do you expect him to have in the game against the Dolphins in Madrid should he receive more carries?